Okay, here is a wonderful effect by Werner Miller, and I will add a link in the description below to his original performance because it will differ a little bit from mine, and that way you'll get kind of two different takes on this wonderful routine. So we need 10 random cards for this effect, 10 random cards. Spectator can choose these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then have the spectator mix these cards as much as they would like. Okay. Now, once they're convinced the cards are sufficiently mixed, have them look at and remember the top card. Now, as the performer, I wouldn't see this, of course, but I don't have a spectator. So their card to remember is the 4 of hearts. Okay. Well, since we know their card is on top, we really need to lose it in the packet and mix these cards thoroughly. So what I thought we would do is something called an under down. So you go under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down. Last one on top, and maybe we'll follow that up with a left-right. You've seen this before, of course. Okay, left-right shuffle. Okay. And then from here, we're going to take a look at the top card. Now, it's not likely to be your card. Is that your card? No? Okay. Well, this card is going to help us find your card. In fact, it has a very special name. It's called a divider card. Okay? And so you'll see the reason for the name in just a moment. But what we're going to do is we're going to perform a very powerful mixing procedure. It's called a mange over under. So we're going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. Okay, so what does that do? Well, it puts our card roughly, that top card there, roughly in the middle. Now, given an even-sized packet, there is no exact middle card. If you had like 9 cards here, there would be an exact middle card with 4 below, 4 above. But with an even-sized packet, that doesn't happen. But one thing that our divider card still accomplishes is it divides the packet into 2 equal halves as long as you take the 2 of clubs with the bottom. And so what the 2 of clubs is telling us to do is to discard the top half. So it's like gone. Okay? So let's repeat that mange over, under, over, under, over, under. Okay, it's going to do a very similar thing here where, now this time it actually divides it exactly in half because we have 5 cards, which is odd. But nonetheless, it's telling us to remove the top cards here, okay? And then we'll do it one more time, over, under, flip that, fan that out so that we can see it. And you can kind of guess what our divider card is telling us. Yes, indeed. Toss the top half there, or top portion. And so what that does for us is, believe it or not, despite all of that mixing and randomization of the packet and the free choice that you made in choosing the cards, mixing the cards, making note of that top card, and the crazy under, down, and left-right shuffle and the mange shuffle that we've done, that 2 of clubs as a divider card has done its job. It has actually found your freely arrived at card. Now, you as a performer don't know or did not see this card at the beginning, but the spectator did, and they know that is their card, and you'll know it's their card because this procedure never fails. So with certainty, you'll know that that is their card. Okay, so how does this work? Well, I may not explain all of the hows, but we'll certainly explain all the whys. But we'll show you kind of the mechanics and roughly what's going on here. Okay, so we need 10 random cards. I guess we can just use the same 10, right? So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay, and then we can even have our 4 of hearts still as our selected noted card by the spectator. Okay. So in fact, let's turn it face up, and so you can begin to see what's going on and why this works. So if you remember, what I had us do first And this is different than what Warner did. So if you want to look at what he did, you may prefer his procedure from here. I just did an under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, under, down, and last one on top. Do you remember what I followed that with? Yeah, it was a left-right shuffle. And you may recall that I picked up the right pile and stacked it on top of the left. Now that is important, okay? So the key there is just go ahead and do it. Don't even make a big deal of it or point out that that's what you're doing. Just stack them as if you're just randomly putting those two piles together. But secretly, what you've done is you've put their card in a very important position for the procedure that we're going to now use. It is second from the bottom, okay? Now that's where their card needs to be for Warner Miller's procedure to succeed, okay? So from there, if you remember, we introduced a helper card by flipping the top card face up, so it's kind of nice. It's 2 of clubs, so contrasting color, kind of nice. And then you just explain that this is a divider card, and you'll see why it's called that in just a moment. So now you perform a mange over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. So what that will do is it will kind of divide the top half, if you include that card, from the bottom half. So we have bottom half, top half. Notice where the spectator's card is, so we can safely toss these. It's not in there. And then you say, well, let's repeat that. Over, under, over, under. You'll see that a similar thing happens. The top 2 can be discarded. Their card is safely there. Over, under. And then finally, we can discard the top card that's above our divider card. And then we will have perfectly located the spectator's freely arrived at card at the beginning. Okay, so that's how it's performed and some of the explanations as to what's going on. So I appreciate you watching and encourage you to take a look at other videos on the Absolute Math Magic channel.